Hi, and thanks for logging on to the Daily DVAR Halacha. And here's a brand new halacha for you, and it's for Wednesday, the 6th day of August. Here we go. Hope you had a very meaningful fast, and I want to remind you that all of the laws of the 9 days are still in effect until midday on Wednesday, but we already told you that yesterday. After midday on Wednesday, believe it or not, there still are laws of sadness that apply to us every single day of the entire year, and that's because we are without our Beis Hamikdash. You just have to open the news, and you'll automatically know that we are not in the state that we should be in. We should be in a state of peace with the Beis Hamikdash and all the Jews around it and everyone following along with us and not hating us anymore, and we have not gotten there yet, obviously. And so, waiting for the third Beis Hamikdash to be rebuilt, for Mashiach to arrive, we have these laws still in place. First of all, you probably know that at things like a wedding, or any time that we have a great simcha, we break a glass just before we end the ceremony of the wedding, because we say, Im lo ala es Yerushalayim al rosh simchasi, if I don't put Yerushalayim at the top of my simcha, how could I possibly do that? So therefore we break the glass, and after we've broken the glass, then we've put Yerushalayim at the top of our simcha, and then people actually scream out Mazel Tov and say, now we could proceed with the simcha. That's why you hear like broken glass and then scream Mazel Tov. You probably see the mistaken custom where sometimes just randomly somewhere a glass breaks and people scream out Mazel Tov. That's a little weird. There isn't a Jewish custom to scream Mazel Tov every time a glass breaks, but it happens because at a wedding we don't say Mazel Tov until we've still remembered the Churban of Yerushalayim, the destruction of the temple, and so we break a glass and then we're ready to say Mazel Tov. That's where that custom comes from. Some of you may know that a chassan actually puts a little bit of ashes on the top of his head, right where his shalrosh tefillin go. He puts it on his head before he walks down the aisle to his own wedding. Again, as a commemoration that things are not right. If someone's building a new home from scratch, right opposite the front door, people in the inside of the house leave an area, a cubit by a cubit, an amma by an amma, which is about 1.5 by 1.5 of unfinished sheetrock. Not painted, and that's Zecher L'Churban, reminding us of the destruction of the temple, and that'll be a reminder in your house for all of your life, and that's why we do that. If you bought your house kind of like used, someone else had lived in it before and they had painted over that spot, you don't have to scrape the paint off. The idea just is that when you're building the home new, leave a spot unfinished to remember the Churban. If you own, let's say, 30 pieces of jewelry, it's seriously no kidding around. It's improper to wear every single piece of jewelry that you own ever at one time in your life, because we like to show that we're not fully happy. We can never reach the fullest of happinesses while the temple is not here. For that reason, if you're ever laughing aloud at something very funny, this is going to sound like a hard halacha to apply to yourself, but we never are supposed to laugh to our fullest, ever. While the Beis Hamikdash is not rebuilt. So if you go wild in a comic event or something like that, we're supposed to never rejoice to our fullest, because we always have to have at the top of our thinking, things are not 100%. We don't have the Beis Hamikdash. If you visit the Kotel in Israel, you may know that if you haven't been there for 30 days or more, then you tear your shirt in the front when you go to the Kotel, because you're showing we're like mourners. We do not have our temple, and things are not as they should be. There were rabbis who wanted to say that no Jews should listen to music forever after the Beis Hamikdash was destroyed, but they knew that would be too difficult for most of the Jewish population to follow, so that law was lifted. But I just want to give you an idea of how strict they feel it should be, and therefore we have these minimal laws to keep us in the right frame of mind until when, speedily in our days, the temple will be rebuilt. Thanks for logging on. Log on again tomorrow for more. Bye-bye.